We have a concept for the reveal look. Michael finally got back to me about the finale look. So it's just this talent that I got to fucking slay boots, you know?
You got to slay boots. And you set yourself up for one that can really slay the boots house down.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the cues are met.
As long as the cues are met. But the thing is I can tell Mateo to put under like music underneath like whenever I'm talking. And then maybe put in a sound cue to let me know when it's like a second or two away from like the next cue or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe even put in, I can get Shea Coulee to fucking do an audio clip that says, hurry up, girl, and just have that play or something. I don't know. Anything could happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why are you yelling at me?
Well, because sometimes I don't think you really listen unless I'm yelling, Casey.
I heard everything. Shea Coulee's your friend. We get it. You say it every day. What else do you need me to say? What else were you saying?
That is not what I said. I barely like her.
Don't believe that. I think you love her.
I love her so much. I love her so much.
You need her.
It was so good to see her open up for that Betty Who person.
Betty who?
Do you know this? Do you like Betty Who?
Betty, yes.
I only know the one song by Betty Who.
Betty, which one?
Couldn't tell you. I just remember listening to his song being like, oh, that's Betty Who?
What? I'm going to a concert tonight, actually.
What are you going to go see?
Christine and the Queens. Do you know Christine and the Queens?
I don't know.
It's just you're hip, but you're not like, you don't, you're
well,
not
who are they?
You're not finger on the pulse.
Well, who are they?
They are a French musical sensation who've been around for a bit. That you've probably heard some of their songs. But you don't love the music that much, and so you don't know who Betty Who is. You don't know who Christine and the Queens is.
Listen, I can't. First of all, hi.
Do you even like
YouTube.
Coachella?
Thank you so much for tuning into, GPHH and whatnot. We're in the middle of a heated discussion right now about the fact that I don't really care for fucking music all that much. So I don't know Christina and the Queens. Okay.
Christina?
Great. What'd you say?
Christine.
Oh, all right. Christine and the Queens. All right. Which one would be more offended by that, Christine or the Queens?
Well, Christine is a trans man and I think goes straight up by Chris now. So I don't know.
Wait, is this Anthony and the Johnsons?
Oh my God, Tony.
No?
I'm Googling how to cancel someone for being dumb.
Is that not the same? Because I know that they fully transitioned. I've heard that they fully transitioned and they're no
They're a noni. They're a noni. They're a noni now?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
All right.
That was a long time ago for you to not know who a noni is. A Tony.
I can't remember everything. I can't be forced to remember everything, Casey Lai.
You sure do have a lot of opinions despite not remembering a lot of stuff.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Starting the show, I think.
My opinions are so why did you know what happened?
What?
Well, I don't know. Oh.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Don't mind me. I've had a long day of doing nothing yet. I've yet to eat. That's what it is. I've yet to break my fast. All right.
Don't let all those spatulas go to waste. Cook an egg.
That's exactly what I was going to make after this. I was going to make a little egg and cheese sandwich.
Yummy.
On toast.
Huevos y queso.
I sadly I have American Craft singles right now.
Ew.
I know. Poverty.
But still American, you can do better. Get cream cheese. Cream cheese is better than American Craft cheese. It's spreadable.
I
More
only really
delicious,
eat the
higher
cream
quality.
cheese mixed into things. I don't really know that I like the taste of the cream cheese, like just as a I like whenever people get bagel, I'm very light on my schmear on a bagel, you
Mhm.
know, because like some people are like, I always ask for it on the side because I want to do it. Because sometimes you go to these bagel places and they just fucking over fucking do it. And it's like, maybe I'm here for the bread.
I'm here for the schmear. Schmear me up, baby. Smear me all over.
Yeah, well, you know, listen,
And then
to each their own schmear, but I want a thin layer of it, or just give me some butter on that bagel.
God, you are from the Midwest. Can
You said that was such, you said that was hateful.
I did. I said it the way that you usually talk about the flyover states. You want butter on your bagel? Okay.
First of all, Illinois is not a flyover state. People fly into Illinois.
They sure do.
The time.
About 200 miles north of where you're from.
Doesn't change the state. Doesn't change the fact that it is still Illinois, you dick. Much to the chagrin to all the racists in Illinois, it is still blue for a reason. But
I mean,
but you can't call it a flyover.
Okay. Tony grew up looking down on Missouri from the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's,
yeah. I mean, no one's going to Rhode Island. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? No one's going there except for maybe the meth trade.
It's not a flyover, but you do drive through it on your way to other places.
Like very few places. Like it's not like there's.
Oh, I don't know. Have you ever had a Boston and New York? I don't think that you fucking know about these cool places. What are the places? What's to 130 miles away from you?
From where? From Chicago.
Okay, from me, where I grew up, it's fucking New York City. Okay, it's the best city in the world. Shut up. Good night. You can take that to the Luke and suck on it. What are we talking about?
Good Lord. I'm ready to start a podcast. If you're ready to start a podcast,
do it.
All right. Well, here, I'm going to just go ahead and set the timer. And I'm going to do like 4, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's just like Coachella because people wait all year long to do drugs with us, with your co-hosts, Coachella girl number 1, Casey Lai.
And I'm Tony Soto. And my hat is so big and my sunglasses are so heavy.
Yeah.
And my pants are so flowy and my sandals are so sandally.
Yeah. No one's believing you're a teen one way or the other.
Fuck
name
Coachella.
one.
Like, honestly, like I know that you love the idea of going outside and sweating together and doing drugs and pressing up against strangers and whatnot. But there's nothing about that process that looks cute to me. You know, it's like you see the thing I like about Coachella is that there are less miserable people in LA, you know, for 2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
It's like during the holiday season when everyone goes back to Indiana.
Yeah, except they go to Indio and they have a really nice time. I name one headliner for this year of Coachella. Tony, go.
Frank Ocean.
Oh, you did it.
And he didn't show up or something. I think
he didn't show up.
Well, his first night,
correct.
Something about like YouTube didn't stream it. His performance, like there are things I've heard. You know, I mean, I saw that Bjork came out looking all crazy. Like, I've seen things. I'm on TikTok. You know, there are some certain weird things that show up on my For You page, and I'm like, well, how do we snuff that out? Real quick, before we started talking during the recording moments, we were talking about American Craft singles, and you said cream cheese instead. But I wanted to ask you something. When I say to you, I want you to tell me what you think when I say to you, instant coffee.
Like right off the top of my head. I mean,
yeah, what do you think about it? Like, have you had it? Do you like it? Would you drink it?
You know, I don't hate it. You know, Cafe Bustelo or whatever.
Oh my God, that's literally what I have right now.
Yeah.
So I am poor and groceries are expensive.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, and coffee Coffee is like through the roof. Like coffee is very, very expensive. And then I've seen some videos where they talk about people who study cockroaches, and then they quit, and you can apparently form an allergic reaction to cockroaches after being around them a long time. So then these scientists can't drink ground up coffee because they're allergic to it, because there's a good chance there's cockroaches ground up in that coffee. So that just kind of weighed on my head a whole lot. But anyway, I digress.
Hold on. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Coffee.
Why are you allergic to cockroaches?
Ground up coffee could have cockroaches in it. That's what I'm saying. Ground up coffee. Like if you're going to do coffee, you should get whole bean and grind it up yourself, because ground up coffee, there's a good chance there's some cockroaches in there. But what I'm saying is it's expensive. I'm not paying a lot of money for cockroaches. So I saw the instant coffee and I was like, so my first fix ever, the first time I was ever too high to really function, was one day I called off of school growing up, and my mother used to have Folgers instant coffee. And she worked during the day. So like I was home alone, sick. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have coffee for the first time. I literally had like 5 cups of that Folgers instant coffee and was like, oh, she's too high. Like, like you're sweating and whatnot. So I hadn't had it since. I think it kind of slaps.
Yeah, it slaps. And all must be that lack of cockroach carcass that mellows it out a little bit. I don't know.
Listen, there might be some cockroaches in the instant too. I don't know how it's made.
A couple of things. It's like you live in a Los Angeles apartment. You're already paying too much for cockroaches to begin with, So I hear what you're saying. I guess
I don't have cockroaches in my apartment.
Yeah, they're in the apartment building. It's Los Angeles. That just is true.
I don't know where they would be. I mean, I feel like if there were cockroaches in this apartment, I've been here almost 9 years. And
you're the one talking about being allergic to cockroaches because
scientists,
you're around too much.
Scientists.
So all of that.
I bring you science, Casey. 301 episodes in, and I'm bringing you science.
Yeah, I feel like TikTok is getting into your brain a little too much, just because it's one of those things where it's like, you know what I've never heard or never cared about before were the fucking cockroaches in my coffee. And I'm not going to now, okay? But I hear you about the beans.
You should be worried about that. Listen, there's certain things that the FDA, there are certain amounts of certain gross things that the FDA just allows to be in food, because it's like, well, it's not so much that it would make you sick. That's kind of a gross thing not to want to fucking care about.
Yeah,
and you're like, I don't eat pork. Okay, all right, cool. Well, enjoy your cockroach coffee.
I don't eat pork because I have a dog, and pigs are as smart, if not smarter, and more empathetic than fucking dogs. And I'll tell you what's super fucking smart and empathetic, way more empathetic than Tony, dogs and pigs. So I wouldn't fucking eat pigs. I might eat you over a fucking pig based on the empathy test. 1, 2. I'm not trying to eat cockroaches, okay? I'm terrified by cockroaches, but if I don't have to think about, like, now I'm a little annoyed you fucking brought this up because there's cockroaches in my fucking head a little bit. I'm not going to drink fucking instant coffee as a result of it. 1 or 2. What point am I on?
We don't know how that's made. I'm just saying, get the whole bean. Get the whole bean. What? You don't have a fucking little grinder? What? Tell me, why you?
Oh, I've got grinder aplenty. Okay, it's not a grinder issue.
I love how mad you are about that. I bring it up. It's like, well, just switch the whole bean, you dummy, and you fucking avoid that shit.
I like how gay sex apps are actually kind of like perfect for coffee. It's like, you grinder it, and then you sniffies it. and then you milk it dry. Are
you on the sniffies, Casey? Are you a sniffier?
No, I don't need to have any more sex and bushes than I already do. You know what I mean? So I'm an app for that.
Yeah, those are also the ones who want to do a lot of drugs with you.
I will say I was doing a show in front of a gay crowd, and was talking about Grindr, or I was talking about Hinge. Don, I don't want to trigger you, Tony.
No. I know that you're re-upped. You're still on the Hinge, right?
I think, yeah, I did. I went on good dates. The point is that I was like, all right, well, what app are we on then? Because people had a similar reaction to you. Incredulous. What is it about my face that makes people incredulous to the fact that I'm on Hinge looking for a good time. And then everyone was like, I was like, well, what's
Because I don't know that's what Hinge is for. I don't know that Hinge is for a good time.
A good emotional time, long-term good time, one more than once, more than a bush. And out of a bush. I want a good time out of a bush, join Hinge. And the point was is that everyone's on sniffies. I've never touched a sniff.
You've never touched a sniff?
Woofed. No.
I'm
not saying I'm better than anyone else. I'm just saying.
Well, no, and you couldn't. Anyway, sorry I took us completely off the rail with instant coffee, but I thought that the Cafe Boello is really fucking tasty stuff. And just a little, if you're out there, and it's only $8, and this shit will last you a moment.
I bought it one time thinking it was ground coffee, and when I realized, I was like, well, I'm not going to throw it to waste. It was also the what do you call it, pandemic, and so quarantine. It was like quarantine time, and I was like, oh, it's probably good to have this around just in case. And I started drinking, and it wasn't that bad. But the thing is, it's like it does give you a kick, but it's not coffee. It's like plain. It tastes like plain coffee, like flying on a plane coffee.
So, well, what do you want in coffee?
I want a little taste of cockroach, just a wing or something. Just one tiny little, I want a little bit of protein.
Roach. There's not enough roach in that fucking coffee. Well, to be fair, we don't know. We already said that we didn't know, and we don't know.
And speaking of roaches, happy 420, everybody.
Oh, yes. If you are listening to this on Thursday,
should I get high?
It is 420. Do you celebrate, Casey? Is this
Hitler's birthday? Yeah, no. See, my name is not a Harlan Crow. Thank you very much.
When you bring the reality of it to it, when it's like, but here's the thing. Hitler had a lot of firsts out there, you know what I mean?
Don't hear the thing. Hitler.
What I'm saying is, I'm glad that the stoners have taken it. You know what I mean? I'm glad that the stoners, because here's the thing too. 420 was started because that was the call that police would make when they busted for marijuana.
Is that true?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like that's why else. First of all, why else would stoners have picked a number out of nowhere?
I think it was like when you got out of fucking class and you met in the parking lot.
At 420? No, I don't. First of all, listeners, if you are not watching us live on YouTube right now at the Gay Power Half Hour YouTube page, Casey Lai is celebrating 420. Is this the first time you've smoked marijuana on the Gay Power Half Hour?
No, I've done it a couple of times. It's never been that fun for anyone.
Look at her. She's already coughing. She's already knows she made a mistake. You can tell in her eyes. She knows that she made a mistake.
What was it?
Happy 420. Listen, I smoke copious amounts of marijuana every day, so I don't really know what the big deal is. You know what 420 just brings out people who want to smoke your weed. And I'm like, look, I'm happy to celebrate, but let's just bring our own weed.
I'm going to try to be one of the first 100 customers at my local weed shop because they give you like an insane discount.
Have you been to the one on my street, the new one on my street?
I try to avoid your street as much as possible, Tony. I don't know. There's some pitfalls for me. Bumping into you, one. That restaurant home, not that good. The witch shop, you never know what's happening over there. Honestly, your street, you never know what's going to happen. So,
you know, I'm going to tell you about that witch shop. I'm going to tell you about this witch shop real quick, because here's the thing, witches out there. I have a little bone to pick with you.
Ooh, don't do it.
Well, listen, I'm not afraid. I have just the right amount of crystals around my fucking apartment to keep any kind of hexes of these witches at bay. What I'm saying is there is a little witch shop that's on my street in Southern California, Los Angeles, the great city of. And they sometimes hold these outdoor events where like they what is it called? Like, isn't that a word when the covens all get together? Or like it's a
orgy?
Or something,
brouhaha.
a brouhaha or whatever. I don't know. They get together.
Mayday. There's a maypole.
They get together to call the coroners or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're in front of the goddamn witch shop calling the corners. I don't know. I haven't heard any of them talk. It's always pre-meeting.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they don't move. They don't move. They take up the sidewalk, and I'm all like, "You're supposed to be better. You fucking pagans are supposed to be like
self-aware."
Like, but when you see someone walk through, and it's not that I don't say excuse me. I say excuse me. I'm very happy to say excuse me. But after I say excuse me, I want you to fucking move. And these witches,
you think they could levitate or something? Just.
I mean, listen, they got on their Roombas and they turned their back, but they did not move. And I was like, what the fuck, witches? You're supposed to be better. But then again, it's just there's probably a lot of posers here. And
you don't think they're real witches? Well, throw them in water, see if they float. That's how you tell. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, speaking of fucking, I don't even know where to go. Where do you go from witches straight into, I would imagine, the fact that we are all going to be burned as queer people soon enough because the Supreme Court is loaded. It's illegitimate, and there's a lot of big bills there's a lot of big cases that they're about to hear.
Good transition. Happy 420. Burn one down, and if you can't burn one down, wait till you're allowed to burn a homosexual for a crime against you, religion.
Hey, I got there. It got there. All right.
I mean, what's your beef right now that Clarence Thomas lets rich people
I think
faddle him all week long?
Well, I think that the fact that came out came to light about that in the last week. Mostly it's like, look, Chris, we were talking before we started recording, you're like, the rich racist or whatever, blah blah blah, the purse strings, if you will,
Harlan Crow,
the teat that Clarence was suckling from that wasn't his wife's. It's like, okay, so the Supreme Court doesn't have a lot of ethics that they have to abide by, or whatever. That's what you hear when it first came out, and you're like, it's a muddy thing. Second, we find out that he's not disclosing financial things that legally he has to. Like he has now broken the law because he has whatever bullshit that they have to do, and still nothing is happening in that situation. Like he's still there. People are calling for him to resign, but nothing's happening. And there's nothing that we can do about it, really. Right?
It's just a bummer to me that, like, in order to be a person of color beloved by the right, you have to be the worst person of color.
Yeah.
And he has,
that's real.
He's just like, it's not against, I don't think it's against any Supreme Court rules or laws or regulations that or what he's doing. There was no disclosure requirements for a lot of this stuff, for any of this stuff. It's just, norms and decency. The house building for his mom, Clarence Thomas's mom lives in the house that Harlan built, and that is definitely like a major issue. I mean, when it comes down to it, to me, it's like, if this was a Democrat, it would be a completely different story.
Oh, if this was Sotomayor, could you imagine if this was Sotomayor? Like, if this was Sotomayor, we would be fucking. She'd be impeached.
And that's the thing. It's like, what we were talking about before was like, do I think that this guy Harlan Crow is a Nazi sympathizer, like everyone is saying? No, I think he's a rich, eccentric person who does and a lot of weird stuff and buys a lot of weird stuff. Because that's what rich people, and he has weird hobbies like buying the statues of former dictators and putting them in his garden. It's a weird hobby that the rich have, but does that make him a Nazi sympathizer? No, he's just a rich white from the South. He's just a regular American racist. Okay. The problem is is that,
Yeah, he
the
probably
black guy he owns
Jews.
is a Supreme Court justice, and that is like a major fucking issue. And I think, I want to look into I think all of their finances on the right and the left need to of the bench.
But why? It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, this is literally proof that it doesn't matter, because we've like Clarence Thomas has done. This is the whole thing where it's like they want to be like, oh, it's unprecedented, whatever, but we're not doing anything about it. Like,
yeah, and also Alvin Bragg, the DA in the Trump Stormy Daniels case in New York, had like George Soros gave, not him, but like an organization that ended up backing him in the election, like $10,000 or $100,000 or something like that. And they're all trying to smear him as Alvin Bragg, George Soros's DA, because of just money at one point that was given. Fucking Harlan Crow gave Clarence Thomas not just vacations on a yacht, a house. He built his fucking mom a house, and who knows what else. And so and we're not allowed to build some sort of mildly conspiracy theory case around what this guy is fucking doing and getting out of buying Clarence Thomas a house. It's insane. So it's fucking insane.
His wife was literally behind the insurrection. So that was a thing too. Listen, it's like with all these fucking shootings, we didn't care when kids died in Sandy Hook. You know what I mean? There's always something. It's like I feel like in the past 20 years, it's just been them doing bad shit over and over and over again, and us just being like, well, yeah, that's bad, but I guess I don't know. Are we just taking it? Because here's the thing: we have an illegitimate Supreme Court about to make some really major decisions, and I say illegitimate because never in our history has the majority fought a sitting president's appointee. To Supreme Court. And that started with Mitch McConnell. And he then, when the fucking indicted, twice impeached president fucking was going out after fucking old lady died, Ruth, it was the same fucking Obama bullshit. And McConnell was like, oh yeah, no, that vote's going to work. That's fine. So
you and I were separately having the same thought this week, I think over different reasons. We were both in our own silos of our homes, getting high probably, wondering how to leave the country for good. And mine was because of there are now 3 stories this week of people just kind of knocking on the wrong door, driving into the wrong driveway, or kind of getting into the wrong car by mistake and being shot. Not all have been killed, luckily, because these fucking old white guys are worse shots than 21-year-olds with an AK-47. Goes to show you that a handgun, it's harder to kill someone with, good to know. So if you want to get shot in a mass shooting, hopefully it's by a handgun. But anyway, a kid in fucking Missouri, Kansas City, whichever side, I don't know, Kansas or Missouri, not a good one. Either side is good. Either side you're throwing the dart at. Someone in Texas, a cheerleader in Texas, got into the wrong car, and a girl and her boyfriend drove into the wrong driveway in upstate New York, and they were all shot by people with guns. This is what our country is. You can't even fucking make a mild. Right?
New York girl passed away, correct?
New York girl passed away. Yeah. That was a shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, see, this is the thing. We've talked about on this show a few times, Casey. The likelihood of us being in a mass shooting in this country is so much greater than it's ever been. And and you were saying how you're absent-minded, and you kind of look, I've gotten into a car that I thought was my Uber before. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I've definitely
we're all doing
done
that
before.
We're all doing that.
And so it's because we're just letting people conceal and carry, people are allowed to defend, or what's that fucking stand your ground bullshit. we're daring people at this point just to shoot anyone who comes around who makes them feel a little, and we give this, like, this is the whole thing we've heard with cops for years. Cops can shoot once their life feels endangered. Well, who's to fucking, like, look, there are people when a rat crosses the street in the city who freak out in ways where I'm like, oh my God, do you think your life is in danger? And if that's the case, that person with a gun, could you imagine them shooting at a fucking rat, trying to hit that, and then hitting a baby in a stroller? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand why in our country we've glorified these good gun owners, because theoretically these are people who had guns legally, as far as we know. And that aren't mass shooters. You know what I mean? They're not like, they weren't going out with, like, it wasn't like that old guy in the South was like, can't wait to kill someone today. You know what I mean? But ultimately did. And
the fucking Texas guy? Yeah.
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 Whoever shot the black boy in the face.
Yeah.
And in the fucking arm. Because the thing is, like, he shot and didn't even say anything. And he shot through a door that was like separating. So, like, he didn't even. I mean, that's the other question. Is like the guy, the fucking poor kid. I'm happy he's alive. It's a terrible fucking story, but it's like he rang the doorbell. People can't ring your doorbell. He didn't try to enter your fucking house. He rang your fucking doorbell. Yeah, like, that's where we're at. And then that one to me is, of course, racially motivated, because he's like, you see a black person on your fucking doorstep. You get a gun. Yeah.
You get a gun and you shoot him.
You don't even say, who is it? Like, you don't even say, what do you want? I mean, the kid was just trying to pick up his fucking brothers.
And it's like, I don't know the specifics of it, but like, I don't know, if you drive most places in America, every fucking house looks the same because they were built fucking 6 years ago, fucking in a housing boom, And so, like, every fucking place looks the goddamn same. So sorry, he fucking showed up to your wrong fucking, prefab bungalow.
and to add, like, just to really show other countries that are better than us, just to put it into more perspective, especially regarding that shooting. It took that boy 3 houses before someone offered him help. 3 houses. He went to 2 houses bleeding from his head, and they were like, nah, you're still in danger or something. I don't know. And
you know what? Honestly, I wasn't thinking about this before, but I watched the video of that tech CEO who got killed in San Francisco, stabbed by what it turns out was it kind of sounds like he was having an affair with this guy's brother, and this guy killed the guy as a result. More details to follow. But what didn't happen, and what the right was pushing, was that some street vagrant knifed him in the heart because of crime. Yeah. And I want to say what these 3 places where these poor people have been killed. I'm pretty sure the rurally, red cities and rural fucking country is where this is happening. This is where crime is really bad. Honestly, I this narrative, I want to push back on this LA crime, San Francisco crime. When it comes down to it, I have a feeling a lot more people are getting fucking shot randomly in fucking rural upstate New York. And a lot of reasons that we're not fucking hearing about it is because they're not mass shootings. Okay. Well, they're like, we're not hearing about any single or double shootings. Okay. Well, we're only hearing about 4 or more,
I mean, that's very interesting, because Jim Jordan was just in New York recently giving speeches about how violent New York is, or whatever. And listen, I'm not going to say that there hasn't been a spike in crime and whatnot in big cities. We're coming off of a pandemic where we lost a majority of the fucking people. They mostly died in our fucking backyard. And like, we're still trying to bounce back from that whole fucking thing. But where it's really fucking dangerous and where crime is through the roof? Oh, fucking Ohio, bro. Ohio, Jim. That's your state, Queen. Go home. Go home, let New York do New York, and you go fucking work on Ohio, because your shit is backwards. And like, you can be blanketed in the blood of Christ all you want, but there's a bunch of people getting blanketed in blood due to crime.
And fucking while you're at it, turn the other way while your buddies groom a bunch of wrestlers. We'll go back to just like reading books to kids. Okay. Like, honestly, I Ali Alexander, the fucking MAGA brat who ran the Stop the Steal rally and all that shit. Turns out he's fucking asking kids for fucking to show for dick pics. So who's the groomer now? MAGA, the G stands for groomer. Make America groomers again. Let's fucking start talking, sending that out there, because honestly, that's what it sounds like MAGA really is. You want Donald Trump, who is a fucking groomer, to be the fucking president of the United States. We saw it today. He was palling around with Epstein, major fucking groomer. Okay. And now the people leading the fucking protest movements, turns out they're a bunch of groomers too. So MAGA stands for Make America Groomers.
Well, these are also the politicians in flyover states who are putting up bills to make 12-year-olds able to get married. These are they are the groomers. They want 12-year-old brides so that way they can fucking manipulate them to do whatever they fucking want, and they want your fucking young male children to be working at fucking 13, 14, 15, 16 in fucking adult working situations. So they want to like loosen up your protection for child labor laws, because they want the fucking boys at work in the factories and shit so they can be fucking the girls. And that's the Republicans. And you're being like, oh, look at this drag queen who's getting up at fucking 5 o'clock in the goddamn morning to slap a face on so she can go to a goddamn library with shitty lighting and read to your backwards ass fucking kids. Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
We've come to the end.
Oh god, ever since I hit that weed, I've been so nervous. So I'm really happy that we're
from instant coffee all the way to fucking drag queens. This is the gay power.
Another reason why we're like Coachella, because there's really something for everyone.
I mean,
there
truly are.
There's Blondie was there, And,
I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
Well,
did you watch it on YouTube or you?
No, I'm interested in what's happening out there in the world, Tony. I know you like it.
You're connected. I want to know
what the party is.
Empath. Blah blah blah. We get it.
And I love to party.
Yeah, now you're high, and
during the day,
a little uncomfortable probably about being high, because it's really not 420 at this very moment.
It's not. It's 419.
It's the 19th. So now you're just a fucking bloaty.
Blew my wad on 419. How am I going to celebrate Hitler tomorrow? I'm going to be so tired in my head.
Tell people what you're doing or where they can find you.
Please don't follow me. On Instagram at KCLEY, Twitter KCWLEY. I do have some shows coming up, and I can see me at the Comedy Manor on 420 tonight. At York. Oh boy, in Highland Park. At a York Manor, something on York Street. Oh boy. And then a bunch of shows coming up in all over the place. So follow me on Instagram. Tony, what about you?
Still on Twitter, huh?
I don't post that much on Twitter.
Y'all, if you like GPHH as much as we do, then why don't you tell your friends about it? Like, let them know. It's 30 minutes out of their day. What are they doing? Truthfully. Go to our iTunes page, subscribe, rate the show, leave a comment. We'll give you a shout out. That's how much time we have. If you like Tony Soto, and who doesn't, don't forget that on May 14th, if you are in LA, get your tickets to the Drag Queen of the Year pageant, because on Mother's Day, a mother is going to win $10,000 at a pageant at the Montalban Theater, hosted by Alaska Thunderfuck and Lola Lacroix. So it's going to be great. I am the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. So give this bitch a follow. And we'll be back again next week with more of this gay nonsense. Until then, goodbye.